To how to prepare for a career fair. First of all, I'd like to say I'm so happy that you took this opportunity to attend a career fair. It is a really important part of exploring your career, exploring the opportunities out there, as well as finding opportunities for whether you're graduating or looking for a summer internship or a co-op position. So, congratulations on being here. And I'm going to walk you through today how to best prepare for this fair so you get the most out of it. My name is Cynthia Allen. I'm a career development and experiential learning specialist at the Career Corner. So let's get started. So, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about why networking and why these career fairs are so important. We're going to talk about what to expect. When you arrive to the event, what can you expect to see? And also how to have the best success before, during, and after the fair. So, why are these events so important? I mean, I used to be an employer, just so you know, I used to be an employer for about 20 years. I used to come on campus and recruit. And it really gives you as a student the opportunity to learn about their organizations and their opportunities, to discuss job search strategies. In other words, what they're looking for in an application, how best to apply for jobs in that organization. Gives you a chance to expand your network and grow your network and add to your LinkedIn, which is a really, really important part of your career development, is in order to meet people in the industry and to learn from people in the industry exactly, what some jobs are like, what the environment is like, what the expectations, what the job duties are going to be within that organization. And you can find that out directly all from an organization. And at a career fair in person, there are employers there to help you to have those conversations. And it also gives you a chance to explore what we call the labor market. So the labor market being what jobs are out there, what's growing, what skills are being looked for, so you can prepare for your graduation. Now, why do employers do these events? Um, Really important. We employers, I'd say we, I'm no longer a we. Why do employers attend these events? To hire people, to sell their company. And they're not there to sell their product. I get that a lot. People ask me, um, you know, uh, are they there? They're just there to sell their product. They don't want, no. Employers actually pay to be here. They pay $600-700 to attend the event, and they choose which schools to go to because every school has these types of events, right? So they're choosing to spend the money to be at the University of Ottawa because they want to hire University of Ottawa students, grads, and alumni. So take advantage of that opportunity. Now, what will you see when you arrive at the career fair? Okay. So, depending on where the career fair is on campus, the one thing you will always see, first of all, is a career fair information booth. That's usually the best place to start your journey. So, you can get general information about the fair. You can actually get overall assistance during the event if you have any questions or you're not sure how to proceed. But also you can stop there to pick up the map of the event. So where are the employers? Where are they located and how can you find them? And because the career fairs are so popular right now, they're going to be in multiple locations. So you want to make sure you know where those locations are. Now, when you see the employer booths, each employer will have a table and they might have things on their table. They might have backgrounds. They will definitely have representatives, one, two, sometimes more. What can you get at the booth? First of all, you get resources and information. Sometimes they have handouts. A lot of employers now are actually not necessarily handing out things, trying to not use as much paper, but they're actually encouraging you to go to their website. But what's important, I think the most important aspect of a career fair is being able to network and speak to the employers, okay, and connect with them. So yes, you can find all the basic information on the website. You can apply online, but you can also hand in your resume directly at the booth. as well as have specific conversations with the employers to learn more about their organization, about the positions available, how to apply, and the kind of skills they're looking for. And that's really what's going to be so important for you. Um, and there's as well the Career Corner booth. So I'm sure all of you have heard of the Career Corner. We're on the second floor of the University Center. However, if you need time help during the event, maybe you're unsure where to start, you're unsure about networking, you're not quite sure what questions to ask, come see us. We're there to help you with some overall career discussion and advice so you can make the most out of the event. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the event details. And the event access. This is an in-person event, so you don't need any login, you don't need anything like that. You just need to show up. But you must be ideally registered for the event in order to participate. There are two ways to register. You can register by visiting the link that's on this presentation. And register through Eventbrite. We ask that you use your UOttawa email address because unfortunately a lot of the other email addresses get bounced back when we send out information. Or you can register at the fair information booth on the day of the event. But you can imagine there'll probably going to be a lot of lineups and a lot of things to do at the fair information booth. So if you can, register in advance so you're going to be ready to go the day of the event. Once you're registered, you will receive a confirmation that you're registered, just a confirmation email at first. Then about a week before the event, or if you've registered later, the day before the event, you will receive sort of a grab bag of information, including this video. If you're watching it, I'm sure that's where you had it. Information about the event and how it proceeds, as well as, most importantly, the list of the employers and the final list of the employers. That's going to be very key to use as you prepare for the event. Okay. Now, the fair runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. strictly at that time. And employer information will not be available after that. So use that time between 10 and 4. Ideally, earlier is better. Employers are fresher at the beginning of the event. So earlier is better. So do your best to get there, ask questions, and make sure when you leave the booth, you get contact information. Either connect with people on LinkedIn, get business cards, or at least get an email so that you can follow up on your applications afterwards. Okay. So that's what you can expect during the event. Now, what your success during the event and really making the most out of it will depend on your preparation. And that's what we're going to get into now. So let's talk about preparation and what to do, okay? So first of all, I know the first one seems a little silly. Know yourself, right? Well, of course you know yourself and you know who you are. But what you want to do is set out a goal for the event because it does run from 10 to 4, but perhaps you only have 2 hours to the attend event because you have class or you're not able due to other responsibilities. So maybe you only have a couple of hours. So you want to look at that employer list that you've received in the email and really target who do you want to meet with? Who are your most important employers? And maybe it's going to be 5 of them. Maybe it's going to be 10 of them. Maybe really only 1 or 2. So really take it. Who do you want to meet with? Who do you really want to make connections with? And you want to make sure you hand your resume into. So you want to be sure of that. And part of that is taking a step back. What are you targeting? What type of role are you looking for? Is it a summer job? Is it a co-op job? Is it full-time, part-time? Are you looking for an internship while you're going to school so you can work part-time at the organization? Really have an understanding of what you're looking for and your availability, So when can you start work? When are you available, etc. And really have that laid out before you start talking to employers so that you sound organized, you sound prepared. Then think about short-term and long-term goals. Don't limit yourself to just what's in front of you. So perhaps for the moment, you're thinking, I just need a co-op placement. That's what I'm going to focus on. Well, this organization doesn't necessarily have co-op placement, but maybe it might be a great organization for you once you graduate. So think of both those goals. Think of really connecting with employers with both those goals in mind, what you're looking at right in front of you, but also more long-term goals. And then the other part is knowing you, knowing your skill set. What can you bring to the employer? What can I offer? How do I stand out from the other people within that the employers will be meeting? So be sure to take that time to look at your resume, to be prepared, to keep it up to date, and to make sure that you understand who you are and then what the skills that you can bring to the table. Now, the other piece, and this is why the list of employers are so important, is to research the organizations. So, who's there, who they are, at the minimum, understand what they do, what industry they're in, what service they provide, or what product they provide, so that when you go into the conversations with the employers, you're not starting from what do you do? You're starting from you've already had a chance to look at their website. You can start a conversation on your website last night. I saw this really shows the employer that you're serious, that you've made an effort, and they're going to want to talk to you. You might even want to apply for some positions. Maybe they already have an internship posted online. Apply for it. Do a little bit of research and then show up and saying, hello, I've applied for the internship. So take advantage of doing that research beforehand. It will really make a difference when you're trying to connect with employers. Okay. And you want to prepare those questions for each employer in advance. So again, you look prepared. You look like you know what you want. And that's what employers are looking for. Someone who's self-aware, who is organized, and who knows what they're looking for. You want to then prepare your message. And what I mean by that is, can you basically answer, tell me about yourself? Okay, because you will probably get that question. In a nutshell, how can you describe who you are and what you're looking for? So we use a acronym here at the Career Corner called PAWS, PAWS, which is personal information, academic, work, and skills. So maybe it might be, hi, my name is Cynthia. I am in my fourth year bachelor program in psychology. Some of my work has been working at the Career Corner as a mentor, and my top skills are working with individuals one-on-one, public speaking, as well as my analytical skills. It's a way to start the conversation and to really let people who you know are. So that's what we call an elevator pitch. Okay, so it's basically a 30-second, tell me about yourself, and that will really help you introduce yourself to employers. Practice your pitch. You want to practice it in advance, practice it in a mirror. Come to the Career Corner. We can help you out if you want to practice it or you're not sure what to include. And then as well, have a couple of concrete examples ready of how you've shown the skills you've mentioned. So if you do mention, my top skill is analytical skills, be prepared to discuss, where have you used those skills or where have you gained those skills? And then set yourself up for success. Dress professionally. Okay. So when you go to the event, you want to dress professionally, dress in a suit or at least a clean shirt and dress pants. You don't want to be dressed in unprofessional clothing. Come prepared with copies of your resumes ready to go, ready to hand out, and a notebook and a pen so you can take notes. And then if you can, and if it's possible during the event, find a place to put your coat, put your bags during the event so that they're safe. And then you can walk through the event and you're not worried about carrying all this stuff with you as you're trying to shake hands with employers and trying to connect with them. Okay. If that's possible, definitely try and do that. Now, during the event, so you've prepared, you're ready, you've done your research, you've looked at the employers, you know who you want to meet. Great. What do you do next? First of all, be on time, and if you can, be early. Employers are fresher in the morning when they first arrive. By 3 o'clock, they'll have spoken to hundreds of people, so they're going to be quite tired by that point, which is still fine if that's the only time you can make it. But if you can, be early. The event does run from 10 to 4. What I recommend as well is, yes, you want to target some employers, but don't limit yourself to only the employers you recognize. Maybe you have certain ones in mind, but there are a lot of really wonderful organizations out there who are smaller, who maybe you have never heard of them before, but that's one of the reasons why they're coming to career fairs, is to let people know about who they are and why they're a great place to work. So don't limit yourself to just those big names that you know. As I said, dress professionally. If you do require a professional dress, we have two programs or two partnerships that the Career Corner partners with. Dress for Success and Suits His Style. So if you want more information about that, you can contact the Career Corner, and these are programs to help people get a professional wardrobe. Stay focused during the event. Turn off your notifications to your phone. Take out your headphones. Don't leave your earbuds in. Take them off. Be present. Let your friends know that you're there to network and not socialize. That is something I used to see a lot at career fairs, as friends would get together in a circle and just spend an hour talking to each other in the middle around all these employers. Be there and stay focused to talk to the employers. And then try to stay off your phone as much as possible, and your social media. Don't be posting things, those kind of things. You want to keep your attention to the employer. Now, they may ask you at that point, hey, are you on LinkedIn? Do you want to connect on LinkedIn? And that way you can connect using your phone directly. But as much as possible, try to stay off your phone and stay present, stay where you are. And be ready to put yourself out there. Shake hands. Like, that might be different in this day and age. Some employers may shake hands, some might not. So you want to kind of use your discretion at that point. But if the employer certainly puts out their hand, be open to shake their hands, or at least be polite to say, that unfortunately you're not comfortable shaking hands. And that's fine as well. Start conversations. So don't just go to the booth and stare at the employer and wait for them to ask you something. Walk up to the booth, introduce yourself, and then ask your questions and start the conversation. You want to take that initiative. And then, of course, be ready to share your resume or your LinkedIn profile. Have that ready to go and worked on. Few other things to keep in mind during the event. You want to make sure you demonstrate strong body language. So when you show up to the event, make sure your shoulders are back, you're standing up straight, you make eye contact with the employer. That's going to be very important and really show your presence and your confidence in yourself. You want to make sure you use professional business language and speak slowly. It can be loud at these events. Okay. So if you tend to be soft-spoken, you might want to practice speaking a little louder. That's not a problem for me. Unfortunately, I probably speak too loud most of the time. But you want to, if you are soft-spoken, be aware that it can be a very noisy place, and you want to be able to speak up and speak slowly. If you speak both English and French, be prepared to switch into either language. There might be employers who speak French and some that speak English, so be prepared for that. And then don't leave the booth with make sure you're asking for next steps or asking for their contact information, okay? And if you need help during the event, come on over to the Fair Information booth or to the Career Corner booth, and we'll be there to help you out. Now, after the event, once the event has finished, you want to follow the employers and connect with the representatives on LinkedIn if you've made those connections. Make sure you've had permission first, and make sure you always add a note. You want to follow up with the employer representatives. Thank you for meeting with them. Thank them for meeting with you. Sorry. Thank them for meeting with you, and be sure to send a thank you note and say how much you appreciate it. And hopefully at that point, set up an informational interview where you can continue your discussion and get more information. Okay. So that is what you can expect during the career fair. You want to keep up to date and register for all the U Ottawa career events. There are some all throughout the semester. And if you have any questions, you need help with your resume for mock interviews, help with your LinkedIn, anything like that, or even career counseling, you're not sure what you want to do or what kind of job you can find with your degree, come see us. You can visit us on our website and book an appointment, pop by the second floor of UCU, or email us directly. So thanks so much for listening. Congratulations on registering for this event. I wish you nothing but luck. and I will see you at the career fair. Take care.